I do agree
But
with that.
speaking of dumb moves, let's move on to our next article. Oh dear, the Sony Japan studio exodus continues by Brian Ashcraft. So Sony's not having a good week, as we can tell here. It's been a very polarizing week for Sony, as the recent restructuring of Sony Japan Studios has led to a mass exodus of key developers behind coveted games such as Bloodborne and Gravity Rush. So a lot of these articles are articles that we talked about either last week or the week before. We're just getting more updates on them this week. They are bigger updates. Apparently Sony Japan has lost a lot of its very big key people now. So not only were they kind of just like restructuring for like, Astro's Playroom, people staying the same and everything like that, but it seems like people are just straight up like saying, you know what, I'm out. So something must be going on in the background a little bit more than what we're probably seeing. Because we have people like Yasutaka Asakura, wow, I butchered that name, sorry, who was an executive producer at Japan Studios, announced that he is leaving, as well as Gavin Moore, who has been at Sony for 24 years, has also revealed that that was their last day at the studio as well. It seems like we will probably never see a Bloodborne sequel with the same people who made Bloodborne good. Because it seems like they've lost everybody from there, or Gravity Rush, or any of those other games. Yeah, it's tragic to see a studio, or especially a studio such as Sony Japan, kind of this is its death knell when you think about it. Because none of those people who made that studio great are there anymore, probably.
Yeah, the Bloodborne thing, that a lot of people are hopeful for Bloodborne 2.
Mm-hmm.
Never gonna come out because Miyazaki doesn't want to go back to it ever.
Yeah.
Now he's done with it. So, and if Bloodborne 2 was gonna happen, the only person I want to head that is Miyazaki, since he is like the architect for that. But it sucks. Like these kind of things suck. Now that like I think that this pretty much puts the nail in the coffin for Japan Studios, and yeah, they made some pretty good games. And they were behind Astro's Playroom.
I believe they helped out with the development of it, but it seems
Asobi is still around though. That's the company that Astro's.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like they're restructuring around the idea of Astro's Playroom. Again, huge ironic thing for them to do, because again, Astro's Playroom being a big nostalgia heavy game, and all this stuff coming out, like, well, all these developers are leaving, all the developers that made these coveted, fan loved games are leaving the studio. Again, just a series of just weird choices. Especially since everybody seems to just be leaving of their own accord. It just seems like something else is happening there. They're not getting fired. They're actually just saying, I'm out.
Probably at their top point of their career, they're like, you know what, let's try something different. Let's do something different. Like this is the problem, because they probably want to make their own studio. They want to make their own games and that kind of type thing now.
I could see that.
And it being more of a support studio or being a very skeleton crew, probably not their thing now, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's just, like I said before, it's just some more like sad news coming from Sony. And I wish everyone who's left the best and success, whatever they specifically decide to do moving forward. Because having a career with a company for 24 years and walking away from it, there must have been something that specifically set that off. Or if they do have future plans, obviously they either have not announced them yet, or it might be something that they can't talk about until later on. But that's still 24 years. So that's a lot of time and effort and just like work that you've specifically put in. So I'm interested to see how it goes, and hopefully we see some positivity moving forward, because I don't know what else to specifically say on this topic.
Yeah, Sony's just been kind of quiet with all these, announcements. It's a weird stark contrast between, like, and again, I'm not a Sony fanboy. I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I'm a PC guy. You know what I mean? I buy these consoles mainly for exclusives. That's about it. But it's just weird how like Xbox earlier this year says, hey, you know, we're gonna up the price of Xbox Live. Everybody hated the shit out of that, and they immediately said, you know what, we heard you guys, we're gonna backtrack on that. And then everybody hates the shit out of Sony's recent, you know, announcements and recent, you know, choices, and they've just been dead silent.
You know what the funny thing is, though? The funny thing is, once Sony announces some sort of event that's going to happen, everybody's going to switch off, and they're like,
they're gonna
"Oh my
forget.
god, what is Sony going to announce? What is Sony's next game going to be? Is Ragnarok going to be there? I want to see Ragnarok." And then everybody's going to forget about all this shit.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about fanboys is they'll forget that, like the dumb thing about fanboying out for like a console or a or just any of these big corporations is that like they don't really give a shit about you. They'll do stuff that'll make you feel good, but they don't give a shit about you. So you shouldn't really like lose sleep over whether or not they announce your favorite game or, you know, stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the money that you pay. That's it.
I remember I tweeted something one day about Horizon coming to PC finally, and then I got a tweet from somebody that just said, "This is the most terrible news ever. This should just be a PlayStation game." I was like, "What?" Because I tweeted about like how PC's about to get Horizon, which because I want everybody to play that game because it is such a good game. More if it's on more consoles or more platforms, the better it is. Like I wish it was on Xbox. I wish it was on Switch. Switch would probably blow up if you try to rerun it, but like you know you can. But like I would love if it was on the different consoles and stuff like that. So like I just don't understand why people want exclusivity on stuff so badly when it comes to these consoles. But anyways.
It's just a bunch of people who want to be like, hey, we have this exclusive, rather than thinking like, hey, we should all be able to enjoy this game in one way, shape, or form. Especially right now with the inability to get consoles, let alone a new like graphics card. Allowing other like spaces to be able to get access to a game makes more sense in the long run, and it means that more people get to enjoy it, because that's what the people who make the games want, is for people to enjoy their games. And right now, if they're not able to enjoy those games, then it's a missed opportunity. And so games might be released right now that might only be on one specific console that some of us might not even get access to for months because it's an exclusive to Xbox or it's an exclusive to PlayStation. That it just seems... I think we should be past that by now. Like, I understand having a different type of console and, like, in the end, having, like, some sort of things like that, but having people who are like, this game shouldn't be on... I used to be that way in some ways, especially when I first jumped onto the PlayStation, like, boat, and I'm like, hell yeah, PlayStation! And now I'm just like, everyone should be able to get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just... How do you feel about this, Sly?
I support all of the points all of you made. That's pretty much all I got, yeah.